Hello, good morning. January 2nd. Let's do the daily news commentary. FCRI is again being repeated. Not going to that specifically. Understand where is Vaishno Devi's temple is located. The location from Prelims perspective is important. AFSPA in Nagaland and the entire and the rest of the northeast. Again looking at it. Then not much of news today. We have relatively lesser news in the discussion. Bastar free of Maoist. Understand the location of Bastar. Map study. Then and Maoist. Bastar used to be one of the most core areas of Maoist activities in India. So that has been after the early 2010s, the government concerned efforts of government has been bringing down the impact of Maoist activities in the region. So that can be studied. Similarly, you can look into the Maoist or Naxalism issue in India. The threat posed by it, the different challenges, the status of Maoist activity, what are the measures taken by the government of India, how effective it is, all those things. Bhima Koregaon, again, prelims perspective. What is Bhima Koregaon? It's history, and there was a controversial issue in 2018, so that also can be refreshed now. But just understand what is Bhima Koregaon. Modi releases aid to farmers. This is the PM Kisan scheme. Read on that. Taxes, inflation, important, not important. NIA, we had discussed about NIA yesterday also, so just understand NIA and the internal security apparatus of India. Drone-based smuggling, that is something you can look at. Smuggling, smuggling is an issue in IR, so this you can make note on this one. So smuggling are different types of smuggling is there. Drugs, human trafficking, electronic goods, counterfeit currencies, etc. So different types of money. You can understand the challenges of smuggling, source of smuggling into India, source regions. Across the borders, we have smuggling happening. Measures taken by government of India. Steps required. In between that, you can also identify the impact of smuggling on Indian economy, impact on economy and society. Both needs to be understood. For example, if you look at so you can take the case study of Punjab and the drug menace there. Drug menace is so extreme in Punjab's case because of its close proximity to Pakistan and Pakistan's aims of creating disturbances and issues in Punjab. So it has taken into a drug war instead of the conventional war that we usually see of. There is a narcotics war happening in Punjab from the Pakistani side. Gupkar Pact. Understand what is Gupkar Pact with respect to the J&K and Article 370 revocation of 370. Konyak groups in Nagaland. Konyak is a group of Nagas are basically an amalgamation of several tribal groups. Naga in itself is not a singular tribal group, but a agglomeration of several groups. So one of them is the Naga, Konyak Naga. Right. Then 5 lakh doses of Covaxin to Afghanistan. Again, the initiatives taken by India. Make note of it. You can write that in when you talk about different relationship with India's neighborhood countries. You can talk about all these points. Wheat and medicines also will be sent part of the humanitarian aid program. Bengal's jobless tea workers turn to mushroom farming. Assam-based foundation offers training for women. So this can be a case study for different things: diversification of agri economy, for human empowerment, for work of NGOs and civil society organizations. So take those examples and make use of them. Okay, so these kind of case studies for you should be having a book of facts, book of case study, books of examples. All these things are going to give you that edge over other main scores. So make sure you have that value addition material in your hands, right? Sundarbans, understand location, significance, challenges to. So Sundarbans could be important purely from an environmental perspective, and for other subjects, other subjects you can use. So for geography, it could be important. For it could be a wetland based question in the case of environment. It could be a wetland. Then it could be based on what mangroves, biodiversity. Sundarbans is important in all these dimensions. So read on that. Gaza Strip, find the location. Just read this article. It's kind of a more descriptive one. But then learning elephants, churn villages, learning elephants can be used. Okay, so the idea of corridors. What is corridor? Need to be understood. What will be the impact of China's border law? Read on that. Again, this is for understanding purpose. You may not be getting a standalone question from this topic, but you can add dimension to your Sino-Indian relationship. Punishing hate speech. Now read this entirely. Hate speech is back in news again. I think it will be looking into internal security and polity topics. You can see this topic being relevant there. So properly read that. Understand the context, define what is hate speech, try to understand what hate speech in objective terms, how Indian law treats hate speech. Similarly, what were the reforms proposed by the commissions. So you need to prepare a proper note on hate speech this year and the coming year. It will be very important. How will revised IPO rules? What is IPO and what is SEBI? That's it. The other things are not required for UPSC purpose. New vaccines will be available, not required. Then the role of guns continues to haunt India. So if you haven't prepared on AFSPA yet, it gives a good, the evolution of AFSPA is well dealt with. That can be looked at, but other dimension, other analysis are kind of lacking. So you have to look for other sources in that case. That's it for today, I guess. Yeah, that's it for today, Sunday, and this is like more of art and culture thing. Plague Amma, talk about 1898 plague in Bangalore. So not that very important. That's it for today. Have a great day.